So right here, you guys did, you guys cut out two identical trapezoids, and you can arrange those trapezoids so that they form a parallelogram. It looks like this. Ooh, that's such a bad parallelogram. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's parallelogram, and you guys know that parallelogram is base times the height. Okay, but our base right here for this parallelogram is not just the b, it is b1 plus b2. And our height is h, which we can see. Actually, I don't know, it might be really hard to see right there up on the screen because it's pretty small. But this would be b sub 1, oops, let's use black, b sub 1 plus b sub 2, and we'd multiply it times h, which is the height. That would be the area of this parallelogram, right? The yellow parallelogram I have up there. Well, what if I don't want the area of the parallelogram? What if I want the area of just one of these trapezoids, like this trapezoid right here? How would I find the area of that? Would I be able to use this right here to help me find the area of this trapezoid? What would I have to do to this to find the area of that trapezoid? What? Take out the B2? Well, yeah, yeah, Nick.
Times a half.
Times 1/2? So I have to multiply this by 1/2 because this is way bigger than that parallelogram. You would multiply the B1 and the B2 by 2? By 1/2? You are correct. You see this parallelogram right here? That is double the size of this trapezoid, right? You guys agree? I mean, we have two of the identical trapezoids and we just put them together and make a parallelogram. If I wanted to find the area of this, I would just have to take half of the area of this, right? Right? So I could take this b sub 1 and this b sub 2 that's being multiplied by h, and I could divide that by 2 to find the area of this, right? Ah, and there we have it, my students. This is the area formula for a trapezoid. Hey, check out this trapezoid. These are legs. I know, you guys didn't know what legs look like. That's what they look like right there. Those are legs. This right here is your height. Height has to be perpendicular to both bases. A height always has to be perpendicular to bases. And see, I have like a little printed picture here on your notes, and then me and you, remember together we cut these papers out and we formed a parallelogram to help us figure out how to find the area of a trapezoid. So here, check out this this next slide right here, or if you go further down your page. The area of a trapezoid is A equals, we're going to say base 1 times base 2. I'm going to use number 2 because that's shorter. And we have to multiply, wait, did I say times? It's supposed to be plus. Base 1 plus base 2, and we have to multiply that times the height. And then we have to divide all that by 1/2, or by 2. Excuse me. Which is the same as multiplying it all by 1/2. So another way to write it is b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times h, divide that by 2. Okay? Or I've seen it written this way too. You can say 1/2 times b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times the height. Okay, so those are all the same. B1 is normally your bottom base. B2 is normally your top base. And H, obviously, is your height. Did I spell height right? I always forget the E and the I. Okay, and okay, this is very important. The height must be perpendicular to both. Underline that, both bases. Very extremely important. You know, trapezoids don't always look like this. Like when I think of a trapezoid, that's what I think of. You know, these are parallel and everything. That's what I think when I think of trapezoid. But a trapezoid can also look like this. Okay, these are still parallel to each other. There's a trapezoid. But this one's weird because I have a 90-degree angle right there. Over here, my height would be right here. It would be like inside the shape. Over here, my height is right here on the side. See how that's kind of weird? But that height is still perpendicular to both bases. This is your base B1, that's your B2. Okay, you would have to add those two together and then multiply it times the height and divide by 2 to find the area of that. You also might see a trapezoid like this. Ooh. There it is. Parallel, parallel. Okay, that's still a trapezoid. Okay, what makes a trapezoid a trapezoid? Has one set of opposite parallel sides. This could be a trapezoid. That's a trapezoid. See? One set of parallel sides. That's a trapezoid. There's B sub 1, there's B sub 2. Where's my height? Where's my height? What do I do? You can have the height right here. Or you can extend out right here and go up, and then you have a height right there. So there's different ways you guys can see your heights. There's different ways you can see a trapezoid. What makes a trapezoid a trapezoid? One set of opposite parallel sides. All right, let's check out some examples. Let's use green. I haven't used it yet. Determine the area of the trapezoid below. Well, what two numbers are our bases? Come on, students. What two numbers are our bases? 11 and 14 or 19? 19. How do I know for show? I know for show because they should be parallel to each other, and it should appear that way. And this one clearly appears that way. So what you would have to do now is you go 19 plus 11, and you have to multiply it times the height. And then I have to divide it by 2. Now, I like to multiply by 1/2 just because that's the way my brain works. But if you want to divide by 2, like you just say divide by 2 like that, you can do that. All right? But I like doing this because sometimes if I multiply the 1/2 times my height, it comes out nice and pretty and it simplifies very quickly. What's 1/2 of 12? 6. So I have 6 times 19 plus 11. And 19 plus 11 is? See, that's 20, 30, right? Right? And what's 6 times 3? 18. And throw your 0 onto it, and that's our area. Oops, it's meters. Or centimeters? Centimeters. Centimeters squared. Fantastic. All right, look at our next example right here. It says find the area of this trapezoid. See, look, here's one of those funky ones. Okay, it's perpendicular to this dude. And because I know this is a trapezoid, that means these have to be parallel to each other, which means that's also perpendicular right there. So we have 12 plus 17. Those are our two bases. We're going to multiply that times 10. And then we're going to divide it by 2 or multiply by 1/2. But I like multiplying by 1/2. What is 1/2 times 10? Oh, that's 5. So it's 5 times 12 plus 17. And I'm doing one step at a time to help you guys keep up with me. Sometimes I talk too fast. And that's 29 if I add those two together. So I have 5 times 29. Ooh, 20 times 5 is 100, right? And 9 times 5 is 45. What is 100 plus 45? Yeah, I'm just doing stuff in my head, dragging you along with me. All right, 145, and it is feet squared. Okay, here's our last problem. Oops. Right here. Okay, it says the area of an isosceles trapezoid is that. Okay, I'm going to highlight important numbers here. The leg, wait, this is isosceles trapezoid. That's important. The leg is 13 centimeters. The height of the trapezoid is 12. Find the length of the longer base. No problem. Let's draw a picture first. It's isosceles. That tells us a couple things. It tells me that this is equal to that. I know my picture kind of stinks, but this is my height. Has to be perpendicular. That's going to be 12 because that's what this says. And it says one of the legs is 13. Now, if one of them is 13, the other one is 13. So here we go. We know the area is 198. How are we going to find these bases? This is weird. Oh, what if I drew the height like this? If I put my height right here. We have a right triangle right there, don't we? Don't we? Don't? Yes? No? Yes. So what is this length right here? What is this little length right here? Let's see. Pythagorean theorem, yeah? 13 is my hypotenuse, and then I have 12 right there. Plus, we'll call this x. X squared. And that will be 144. That will be 169. What's 169 minus 144? Some of you guys know that by heart, so I thought I'd ask. 25. That equals x squared. X equals 5. That means this is 5. So that means this is 5 right here. Now I just need to know what this is. Oops, that's not 5. That's 5. Now, B1 is right here. Or that's actually B2. That's the same length as this, right? See, if I do that, that means I only have one variable to work with. So I'll be able to solve it. My formula is for a trapezoid is B1 plus B2 times H divided by 2. Or you can multiply by 1/2. But let's write it like this for now. We know the area is 198, still being divided by 2. B2 is the same as the B1, which is the whole bottom one. So let's just keep them all as B2. So if this is B sub 2 and B sub 2, I can simplify that. Oh, do I know the height? Yeah, it's 12. It's right there. Okay, so the height is 12. So I plugged in everything I knew into my formula to see if I could find the missing variable. That's 2b sub 2 times 12 divided by 2. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these two right here so they go away. And I have a 6. 6 times 2b2 is going to be 12b sub 2. And now I have 198 equals 12 times b sub 2. If I divide both sides by 12, what do I get? You guys know what 198 divided by 12 is? That's right, 16 and a half. Let's just go 16.5 right here. So that's what B2 is. But this says find the length of the longer base. So if this number right here, this B sub 2 is 16.5, what is the whole base going to be? What would I have to add to it? Yeah, 10, because 5 and 5 is 10, right? So I have to add 10 to this. I get 26.5 equals B sub 1. That's my bottom base, the longer base.